We talked about this about 6 months ago, and we had kind of a little bit of interest. And I just was thinking maybe I didn't go into it well enough for spiking some better interest. But as auto shops, this is 100% something you should do. And, as a marketing company, I do stuff nationwide. It wouldn't really do me a whole lot of good because the majority of people that I work with are auto shops. And so this wouldn't work for me. But for an auto shop, this is a great source of leads. The auto shops that we do work with on this, they're paying about 50% of face value as they are for their regular Google search ads. So keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons that you should be interested in what's going on. And I'll send out a link to everybody afterwards, with the recording of this so that you can grab screenshots or whatever you want afterwards. But yeah, so national average for a auto repair near me is about 35 bucks, somewhere in there for a Google ad. And we're running about half that price for a lead on local search ads. And so that's one of the reasons I'm bringing it up. And then Cisco had actually hit us up about it this past week as well. And Taylor's, they were actually just talking about this yesterday. So yes, you should look into it. Some of it has changed a little bit since they had brought it out. It hasn't changed the face value of it, though. That's the most important thing. Google will continue to change what things look like, how they're paid, and things like that. Google loves to change things. That should be their middle name. But at any rate, I'm just going to jump right into this. What is it? Just think of it, anybody that's been to Six Flags, it's just kind of a fast pass to the top of Google search. When people are looking for local services like yours, they appear above regular search ads and organic ads, or excuse me, organic results, and they give you prime visibility. That's why you should be interested. And you're instead of paying per click, you're paying per lead. And so they offer the ability to record the calls that are coming in if you don't have CallRail or something like that. You can record the calls, but this is kind of stepping up a little bit of accountability for Google. People like Harold's, for instance, they had 250 leads come in off of their Supercharger IO last month, and Google can't tell us how many were calls, how many were clicks for directions, and how many were clicks for appointment. And so it's a step up in Google accountability, which is awesome. Uh, that is just something that has been needing to happen for a long time. Google says, "Well, I sent you these leads." You're like, "Well, prove it," and they can't. So, so this is a big thing for them to come out and say, "Well, you can record the calls and stuff," is because it's more trackable. Because we've just kind of had to take Google's word for it in the past. How do LSAs work? And I've just had a hard time with this because local service announcement is the same as what Google has cranked out here. So I'm still having a hard time changing that. But how does it work? Basically, Google shows your ad to people that are searching for local services. These ads display your business name, your ratings, your location, and a direct call or message button. So it shows up differently. And we've been talking a lot about AI and how AI is summing up your services and will tell someone about your company before they even click on your ad. This is kind of how Google is trying to combat AI. And so they're trying to stay relevant. This is one of the ways that they're doing that. Potential customers can contact you directly without ever visiting your website. Google, they can already do that through Google, but they have a little bit more information before they click through. And your leads are verified. So people actually have real intent that are calling. If you get on your Google call log, and we do this for you for all of our clients, we get on your Google call log and we'll disqualify certain calls. So if you're getting a call that is spam, then we'll disqualify it. If it's somebody that is calling for a business that's unrelated to yours, if you're looking for auto parts, for instance, we'll disqualify that call. And so you don't have to pay for that. You basically tell Google, we're not paying for that, and They're cool with it so long as you don't raise any flags, so long as you're honest with them. And so that's a different layer than Google has shown as far as transparency before. And so any questions thus far, gentlemen? I don't see any ladies on yet, except for Agatha. How's it going, Chuck? Okay, so why should you care? These are high quality leads. Because of the aforementioned reasons, they're more screened than what your typical Google ad call will be. And like I say, the Google accountability for this is far above, head and shoulders above anything that they've done before. These are customers that are actively searching for your service. So like your Supercharger IO, where we'll buy Google remnants and it'll show an ad and people will click through. These are people that are actively searching for the service in your area. So it's very similar to another search ad. Your trust and credibility goes up because of this little logo, this little Google guaranteed logo with the little green check. So that will be shown there. And that is one of the reasons that your credibility goes up. And this is one of the ways, like I say, that they're kind of sticking their toe in the water of AI, saying we trust this company, they're trustworthy. And everyone on this call has already gone through uh, a Google vetting through Google Ads. And some of those same documents are submitted again, but there are other ones as well. So I'm just going to jump into that. Okay, so this last one, I just wanted to glance over that. It's budget friendly. You set your weekly budget, and for marketing, you should be about 10% of your gross. And so if you're making $1 million a year, you should be spending 100 on marketing. So it's pretty easy. If you're spending less than that, awesome. If you're spending more than that, we need to talk about it. Or if you're just being aggressive in your growth, then that's different. But just on the typical, you'll spend about 10% will be on your marketing budget. And so you set your budget for these types of ads, and you don't spend more than that because you're only spending what comes through. Google knows exactly how much to give you. Okay, so now getting into the steps, you meet the LSA eligibility requirements, and we help you through that. Quinn and Agatha on our team will help you go through all this. And so you'll receive emails. This is very important. So you'll receive an email for your background check. And any forward-facing employee, so if you have a service advisor that talks to customers, that individual would have to have a background check. A mechanic does not, a tech does not, a QA person does not. Anyone that's not forward-facing with the client does not have to have a background check. That is the big misnomer when it comes to this. They don't have to have a background check. I 100% guarantee it. You'll look up, some of you will find something that says I'm wrong, and that information is incorrect. So we've been through this with Google. Your techs do not have to have background checks. And so I just want to cover that with everyone, but your service advisor that speaks directly with the customer does. So that is going to be one thing that you'll want to be aware of when you're going through this process. You don't even start it if you know already that they have a violent crime or something like that that's going to disqualify them. So, but they will get an email similar to this. This one comes through Pinkerton. Google does not do the background checks. It's all done by third-party background checks. So everyone on this call knows that I don't trust big data. And so I like the third-party background checking. I've seen Pinkerton do it, and I've seen a couple other ones do it. Pinkerton is obviously your most recognized one in the country, but we'll also do most of you had sent the front and the back of your driver's license. We'll have to do that again. You'll have to submit your insurance showing that you're insured for whatever auto repair that you do. And so once again, this is Google cleaning up the internet, making sure that businesses are relevant and that they're not taking advantage of people. The more reviews you have, the better. So someone like our client there in Rockledge that has 1,300 reviews, Google would say, good job. If you only have a few reviews, we're probably going to want to add a few more reviews before you request Google to be a verified business. And so that is going to be something that you want to consider. If you are thinking that you're low on reviews, give me a call. And we have not, just so you know, we haven't gotten a firm number out of Google as to what they consider enough reviews, but that is something that they have publicized that is one of the factors. Verification process, we take care of it. Just FYI, we help you through the whole thing. You'll receive prompts. You don't have to do anything proactively. And then you set your budget, and responding quickly is a big deal to Google. So if they send you a lead through this, you have to respond to it quickly. And you can actually be DQ'd if you're not responding quick enough. Like for instance, on Facebook, if you're not responding to your messages that are incoming fast enough, Facebook will downgrade you. And so Google is supposed to do the exact same thing if you don't respond quickly enough to your leads that you're getting. And then monitoring and optimization, we do that on our side. And we look at the leads that are coming in and make sure that they are the correct ones for you. It's a little bit easier because we're not constantly having to change search words and things like that, but it does require maintenance. So any questions, comments? Everyone's been so quiet.
So on the background verification process for our front end, do we know what will disqualify them? And every time you hire a new person, you have to redo this, or is it once you're set, you're set?
Um, if you, as long as you have that same individual at the counter, you don't have to continue to monitor it. If you hire a new employee, like you say, that's going to help run the counter, Google says that you're supposed to go through that. It's new enough. I mean, this whole thing is only about 10 months old. So I don't have any experience with them disqualifying someone because they had a new employee come in, but I would certainly recommend going through that after, like within their first 90 days.
So basically, every person that's that's going to be talking with customers is supposed to pass a background check. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And if they have a TSA or something like that, does that qualify?
That's a really good question because I have my global traveler, my global entry, and so I don't know if that would work for me. But all that I know is that they send you the questionnaire through Pinkerton, and you fill it out and submit it back. So I don't know if they would take that in lieu, but I just know what they send you.
Okay.
Ethan, you're good, brother.
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Ryan Baxter. So we're in process of doing this for you. Just keep working with Quinn and Agatha when they have those requests come through. It's just important to respond to those. So thank you, everyone, and do hit up Quinn or Agatha if you have any questions. You can also hit me up if you have any other questions beyond that. And Ethan, we'll be in touch. I have some updates for you. Okay. Thank you.